I've continued my quest on how to manipulate time in mazes. I've looked in my past video about multiple ways of adjusting time and how those are analogous to manipulating space. The concept that I want to explore in this video is imaginary time, which is on a different axis from how we normally experience time. In this maze that I've created, the player is controlling the yellow dot. The blue dots are hypothetical positions that the player could have taken, which represent the player's position on the imaginary axis. Time only runs forward in this maze, so you can't go back to any of the squares colored gray, as those would be going backwards in time. So what happens if you're playing the maze and you find yourself on a timeline that you don't like? You rotate your position around the imaginary axis and come out at one of the other hypothetical points marked in blue. Anytime you find yourself coming to a dead end, you can use the imaginary plane to jump to a new position. Playing a maze this way is a bit like surfing. You don't really need to worry too much about moving each square, but you're trying to find the right wave to catch, which will lead you to the exit. What is interesting is there will always be the optimal solution, and the maze will be solved whether you're there or not. Phew, that was a close one. To really give the impression of time, I had the game tick off one square per second, so that the player would be moving forward through time and force some decision making to happen. So the challenge becomes how to solve the maze and be at the position of the exit while doing as few rotations in the imaginary axis as possible. Up until now, all the jumps in the hypothetical plane have been random, but it would be good to be able to control where the jump would go. So in this version, the jumps can proceed clockwise or counterclockwise as taken from an angle from the starting position of the maze. In real life, like in this game, we can spend too much time worrying about alternate timelines and what could have been or what might have been, and not pay attention to the moment we're living in right now. Or we can be so worried about what we're doing in the moment and what's going on, just trying to survive, that we don't really think about bigger picture choices we could be making.